Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk to you about the cup and handle pattern indicator. Now before we begin the video, I just have a small request. If you have any of my products on the MQL5 website, paid or free, it would be awesome if you guys could leave me a review. It will just help my products get a better position in the market. Thanks guys, it would mean a lot. Now continuing with the video, cup and handle patterns. These are best used as continuation patterns. What I mean by that is that price will be trending in a certain direction, especially on a higher time frame, and after that it will try to make a retracement, but it won't be able to go far. Price will hold in a range and then it will continue along that same trend. So that's usually the best way to trade it, as long as you trade it along the ongoing trend direction. Because if you trade it against the trend, you might not get very good results. Something like this, where price has already been moving in a direction, price tries to retrace. Right here, as the sellers try to bring the price down, then price ranges because the buyers are starting to win again. After that, the buyers go up. So that will form the cup. And after that, once again, the sellers will try to pull the price down. It won't work and buyers will win again. So usually the handle pattern, it needs to be small compared to the overall cup height. And I'll go through the settings very soon. So I'll show you how you can exactly customize how deep this cup goes and how much percentage this handle has to be compared to the cup. And after that, there will be a breakout and price will continue. Usually when you see this pattern and the handle is very small, right here, it's the inverted cup. So buyers started to win, but then price started to range because sellers were pulling it down. And after that, the buyers tried one more time, but their push was not that strong. And finally, the sellers won and price kept ranging until it started to follow that trend again. So that's what this overall pattern is about. And in the indicator, we have set this check EMA stack trend. So by default, it will have these three EMAs and it will check the direction of the ongoing trend. If you set this to false, then you will get a lot more cups, but those won't be as reliable. Like sometimes you will also get cups which go against the trend. I'll also show you in the settings where you can set how deep or how wide a cup can be, like this. This is the example. Because trend is mostly sideways, so EMAs will not stack for this. And same with this one. The trend is sideways, so the EMAs will be overlapping one another, and these kinds of signals, these will be cancelled out by making sure that this trend filter, this is set to true. Then those signals will disappear and you will only get the signals where price has indeed been trending. Now let me go through the settings once to show you this cup depth. So you can set the minimum cup width. It has to be at least 15 bars long. By default, the settings are pretty relaxed. It allows total 150 bars, which is quite large. But if you set this to something smaller, just temporarily, in that case, those really wide cups, those will disappear. This next one, this is the max P1, P3 difference, and this has been relaxed to 20%. So P1, P3 difference, this is actually the line which will, the rim bar, this line. So this is the P1 and P3. So P1 to P2 and P2 to P3. This distance, it is at 20%. So it will take the overall cup depth and it will check within 20% of that threshold. So P3 needs to be along that. And if it is too slanting, like this cup over here, this will not be taken as a true cup because that is beyond the 20%. You can fine tune these settings to give you even more signals. Max depth allowed. So this is 300%. So this will allow those really deep cups. So price will go back 50 bars and it will draw a FIBO trend. And based on that FIBO, it will use all of these percentages based on that FIBO which we drew 50 bars back. So this is usually important because sometimes price is very slow and sometimes it is making these really long swings. So the minimum relative depth, it needs to be 20% and the max allowed, it's 300. If you don't want those really long and deep cups, you can change this. and minimum cup depth ratio. So that will be 0.06. This is to avoid those very small cups, like cups which are completely flat. Otherwise, if you don't use this, then it will also find those kinds of cups where price is making very tiny ranges. And this is the handle rules. Now by default, the handles, they can be 62%, so pretty big compared to the overall cup. But if you want these kinds of signals where buyers tried to go against the sellers but they kept losing, and the second try where they tried again, the trend was very weak and price broke out. If you want these very tiny handles, then change this to a much smaller number. And this one, min consolidation length, so this is this. A handle has to be at least 4 bars or more, and max width. A handle cannot be more than 30 bars. And this one, the R2 correlation. This is the most important setting, I think, because it will check how much price adheres to the overall cup. So this will be kind of a parabola and how much price connects to it. You can select whether you want the price open or price close or high and low check. So if you have price open and close check, it will check for the close of these bars to check if price stays within the cup. And if you use high and low, then it will use the highs and lows of those bars to form the cup like this. But if you go with open and close, then it will just use the open and close prices. And then those kinds of cups where you had really long wicks, those will not be allowed. This would be that kind of example where price, most of these bars, they do not touch this parabola. So let me set that to a much higher value, maybe 0.85. In that case, these kinds of signals, these will be missed. And it will also show you FIT R2. And then it will show you the actual value. It is 0.8016. And the R2 that we have defined is 0.85. So this 80 is less than 85. But if we set that back to 0.75, in that case, that will be allowed. Now sometimes when price has been going along a particular trend, in that case those EMAs will stack up, but you are very close to the trend being finished and this kind of a cup forms. In that case, price will actually reverse right after that. So as long as your take profit is twice as much as your stop loss. So maybe keep your stop loss somewhere in the middle of the cup and take profit at least twice as much. So you will have more wins than losses, because right after the handle, even after this breakout, price can sometimes continue ranging, and after that it will continue the trend. And this pattern, it is best traded on higher time frames. So something like H1 or H4, at least H4 plus. Do not try to trade it on the lower time frames like M5, M15. You will still get signals on smaller time frame like M5, but those signals might not always be that great, because on M5 and smaller time frames there is a lot of noise. So I would suggest that you use this on at least higher time frames like H1, H4, and best would be D1. Now another thing, like if you suppose go through price and if you find an area where you think a cup should have been, if you want to find out why this was not taken as a cup, in that case just try to find the bars. Like right here you will see the bar number 1327 and the end bar 1293. And in the settings, go to the debug section and the start. So this will be P1 and this will be P3. 1327 and 1293. Just set those values and then look into your logs. Let me just pull those here. So it will show you in-depth calculations on exactly what it did. So it started at this bar, it ended at this, and it looked for the peak anchor. And after that, it will show you exactly which checks passed and which ones failed. So rim variance, and it fit R2. The peak was fine, but it failed at depth because this is too deep. And we have max this much, which is 300%, but this one was more than that. So if we relaxed it even further to like 350 or something, then it would have taken this as a cup if no other checks had failed. Now this is the prefix which it will use to draw these objects, and it will look through 10,000 past bars. You can set this to much lower if you're only interested in the new and ongoing patterns. And this, as we talked about it, it will check for the overall ongoing trend using EMAs. And you can also debug the MA values. Then you will get all the debug messages in your logs. Now regression filters, we already talked about this. This is the default value. Now this is the cup measurements. So it will look back 50 bars, it will draw a Fibo, and after that it will check for all of these values. And we already talked about the handle. And now the breakout. So if you have set this to false, so while price is forming, price will go back and it will create this cup and handle right over here. But if price keeps going further and it goes beyond that 62%, in that case this pattern will disappear. So if you sometimes want to be prepared early on while the pattern is still forming, you can set that to false. And if you set it to true, then it will wait for the full pattern to form and it will wait for this breakout bar. And it will only show you the pattern after that. But if you set this to false, then it will show you the pattern prematurely before it has fully finished so that you could be prepared. And this one, breakout above P3 resistance or dynamic handle trend line. So if you have set this to dynamic, then it will draw this trend line from P1 to P3 and it will extend it further by how many bars you say. It will check for the breakout. Like if P3 was a little bit below, then the trend line would be slanting and that breakout bar will need to cross over that trend line. But if you set this to breakout above P3 resistance, in that case it will draw a horizontal line right here from P3 and the breakout will check, it will happen right over here. I would suggest just leave it at dynamic because you will also see these slanted trend lines. Now this one, by default, it will show you overlapping cups. So maximum 3 cups. Now what happens is sometimes if price has been ranging, then it will use a certain support or resistance area to create smaller ranges. And sometimes you might see multiple overlapping cups. Let me look for an example. Right here. So I think I've messed with the settings a bit because the handle would usually not be this big. But this gives you an example of overlapping. Now if you change that to just one, so it will not be able to show you any overlapping cups and it will use this criteria to figure out which cup to show. So if you only want the latest pattern, if you want the oldest, or if you want the best match, so the cup which has the most adherence to price, that one will be shown. Or if you want the largest or smallest cup, so default value will be this. And if you press OK, so this cup price adheres more to this one. It has a higher R2 coefficient, so it will be shown. Let me just set this back to 3. So maybe we can get some more examples where there are at least 3 overlapping cups. So something also like this, where everything matches up. So I'm not finding that, but this is what I meant by trend continuation. You can use one of my other indicators that I have in market for free. It's called the MA stack. So if you place that, it has the same 3 EMAs by default and you can set this to 10,000 bars and set the show MA lines to true and just change the color to something else. Then you can see exactly when the MA stack had happened. So right here where the handle actually breaks out, MAs are already stacked and over here the trend continues. But right over here, the trend has been going on for too long and the trend actually reverses. So this cup, it is a failed signal and if you had stop loss somewhere over here, in that case price would have hit your stop loss. Which is why it's always a good idea to have your take profits a bit longer than stop losses. And if the handle is too deep, like if the handle goes all the way over here, even if you set it, I think that 62% is quite relaxed, you can set it to a much lower value. Also, when the cup is slanting in this direction, in the opposite direction to which way you want it to go, also be a bit careful of those kinds of signals. And we already talked about those really big cups. Yeah, and finally we have the alerts. So you can set an alert on handle finish, but a better alert is once price actually breaks out. So if a handle finishes, it's not a strong breakout bar. So you can also set volume alerts to true, then it will wait for a high volume bar to break through this trend line, and only then it will give you an alert. And this, it will check bar 1, because if you were to check bar 0, then price might break out and then come back in. So it's best to check for bar 1. And you can set any types of alerts, and everything else is just the visual effects. And finally, you have these show debug values. If you want to hide these labels, if these are getting in the way, you can just set that to false. And let me also remove this. So you'll have a much cleaner looking chart. And we already talked about the debug bar analysis. So if you want to know more about this, then I would suggest that you go over the blog post. This one has everything in much more detail on exactly what all of these messages mean and exactly what each of those settings does. And it also has a cheat sheet for, suppose if you are trading scalping or if you are trading different kinds of signals. In that case, you can use that. Like these the R2 coefficient, it will be much more conservative and it will require very high parabolic precision, and you can change these. So it will give you all the conservative settings to find those swings. This one, default settings, these are balanced. And for aggressive scalping, if you want even more signals, in that case you can use these settings. So just go over this blog post and let me know in the comments what you think. And you can get it from the MQL5 market, and it would be awesome if you could leave me a review. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.